lucky numbers in the NFL are 3, 7, 10, and 14.
You know how we do in Detroit, son? We do nothing but win. Right now, are you ready
I'm ready.
to bite some kneecaps?
New England is bad.
Real bad. Live the high life.
It's a close game.
The Taylor Heineke life. Yeah.
I love this pick. Tampa has been overrated all season long, and the people who make the books are still on this. They got blown out by Blake Purdy. Can Justin Jefferson be stopped? I don't know. If you watched how Carolina played with Andy Dalton, they were fine.
Well, more importantly, Adam Thielen is probably like, can we put Andy Dalton back in?
It is
icy season.
It's Joe Cool, and I feel the cold. I don't think the Bengals lose the rest of the season. Where you spread's the way to go. You just have to know how to bet it. Hey, welcome to the Betting Bros Week 14 Math versus Smash.
Aiden Hutchinson. Smash.
Smash.
What's up, folks?
Killing it. I'm
ready to bet some football.
I'm ready, and Smash was right. We were talking about this before the podcast. Apparently, I did call Brock Purdy Blake Purdy, which just makes that clip even better.
It's bad. That makes it
Mr.
better.
Irrelevant himself. And
before we start, I just gotta say this: he is not an MVP.
No.
Oh, and I'm sorry, guys. So I watched a ton of that game, the San Francisco Eagles game. I wanted to see because I thought it might be an NFC Championship preview. Brock Purdy, and I'm sure I'll get some kind of hate from somebody about this. He's Brad Johnson. Brock Purdy's Brad Johnson.
He's a system quarterback. He's just a good one. And I guess if he's the best.
If he doesn't turn the ball over, whatever. But don't forget, he also lost to the Browns really badly and played terrible. Anyway, he's not an MVP. He's not.
But the question is, who is? Is it Tyreek Hill? Is it Christian McCaffrey? It's got to be a non-quarterback, right?
I'm telling you, I have a hard time not saying Micah Parsons. I have a really hard time not saying that.
They have to win this game this week for that to be true.
So if Micah Parsons goes out and sacks Jalen Hurts 3 times, right?
Then you might have it because Dallas has no marquee wins. Where you think the Lions have been beat by good teams, but the Lions have beat the Chiefs.
The Lions beat the Chiefs. Yep.
Dallas
and Green Bay, which Green Bay, I don't think we were right about Green Bay at the beginning of the season. They're underrated. We were right about them.
Well, it took a while for Jordan Love to come around. Sadly, that is happening, but whatever. Dallas, if Dallas loses this game though, then I think they're kind of out of any MVP conversation because they've proven that they cannot beat an elite team, which is even worse now because Philly lost to San Francisco.
Bingo. And I hate that you can't enter defenders into that conversation, so to speak. But if I don't know, I have money anyway on Micah Parsons MVP. So I guess I'm a little biased, but if I were voting, that's who. If at this point in the season, if it ended, I'd say Micah Parsons. He is the single most dominant player this season. Tyreek Hill, sure, but Tyreek Hill has a bad game. Micah Parsons does not have a bad game this season.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing is I think it's the best player on the best team, right? That's what the MVP is.
Yep.
To me, that's why I bet Christian McCaffrey at 80-1 because I was like, well, Christian McCaffrey is the best player in San Francisco. So
I agree.
That's my lean. I don't think there's any quarterback this year.
Deserves some love. C-Mac deserves some love for sure.
Yeah.
But
and he didn't get hurt this year either. In the year of it, okay, knock on wood, but the year of injuries, right?
So the other person that I think's really unfortunately, I don't think does Josh Allen deserve to win it?
Statistically, yes, and he is by far the most valuable player on his team. The problem is
he's the most valuable player in the NFL.
The Bills have to make the playoffs for that to be a reality, which means they have to win the next 2 games.
Yeah.
They have to beat Philadelphia and Kansas City back to back. That's hard. It's a big ask.
Without a lot of fanfare, Josh Allen is putting together a historic season in the NFL, and everybody's
He's the number one fantasy quarterback for everyone who wants to get on him. And every time a Bills game's on, we have to hear it from the group chat. Oh, yeah, Josh Allen, worst quarterback in the NFL.
Worst quarterback, whatever. Like, I don't like. That's the thing. Is like, Josh Allen is the most valuable. Something would have to change for this to occur. But I do believe that if Jared Goff lights up the next 4 games, he has to stay in that conversation.
He's got to have 300 yards and 250 plus every single game. That's the only way to
light it up. I think now do I think he should get it? No, but I think he needs to stay in that conversation. Who do I think is going to win is a different question. I think Tyreek Hill is going to win. I don't think C-Mac's going to win. It'll be one of those two.
It'll be one of those two because I think everyone's out. Like everyone is really buying into this non-quarterback narrative. This is the year that the quarterback doesn't win.
So remember, running backs once upon a time were the highest paid players in the NFL, right? And then they entered their twilight. Are quarterbacks going to enter their twilight now? Are people going to start to realize that as long as they get athletic people behind the center, and if that happens, does that mean that receivers then are going to be the highest paid in the NFL?
I don't know. It is interesting though, but I will say, I think there is also a lack of talent in the. There's not a lack of high-end talent. I still think the high-end quarterbacks are as good as they've always been. Like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Joe Burrow. They're just as good as Breeze, Brady,
Jared Goff.
Whatever. Manning might be the exception because he's like Marino, but otherwise, I think like it kind of makes sense, right?
That's the thing of like I always said, and I've heard this. I've made this argument constantly about Brady. Like, of that generation, Manning was the better quarterback, like sheer quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And like, that was otherworldly. Like quarterbacks like Manning.
Manning changed the NFL. No one remembers what the NFL was before Manning was a quarterback because everything was one play. There were no audibles. You weren't motioning 3 receivers and calling 3 different plays at the line and then calling the play at the line. That Peyton Manning created that.
Yep. And then there were to a certain extent, like you might have in the book like 6 audibles when you come to the line and you just look at something, you call 1 audible. He would call multiple audibles in the same play. Like I think the current trend in quarterbacks, like we see great quarterback play now, right? Like you got Jalen Hurts, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got these great athletes, right? But as far as like sheer brain, right? Like sheer like ultimate brain for the game, I don't know if Peyton Manning will ever be superseded.
I don't think so. And the other thing is like Manning, and I know we'll get to the games, guys. Manning,
but this is okay. Listen, I got to say this: like the reason why we know football is because we've studied it for decades now. And if you want to be a better, and like, granted, we're not out there winning like $10,000 every weekend, like some shows, stuff like that. But the two of us every weekend come out plus. And we both like you went 5-5, I went 6-6. It's not because this stuff doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from years of understanding positions, players, history, and trends. You're better at trends than I am. I'll say that. You're way better at trends than I am. But
I listen to a lot more information than you do, though. That's
like, yeah.
I'm not coming up with those. I'm not digging deep.
But if you want to bet well, know the sport.
Oh, yeah,
know
for
who
sure.
You're watching. Yeah. And like, if you are surprised, if you are sitting in your seat right now and surprised by the fact that Patrick Mahomes is struggling this year, shame on you. Because you haven't paid attention to football for the past 5 years. If you're sitting at home and you're saying, man, I don't know where San Francisco really came from with this level of dominance, shame on you. If you're sitting there and you're surprised by the Detroit Lions, shame on you. If you're surprised that Jared Allen is the only player on his team other than Stephon Diggs who does anything, shame on you. Like all of these levels, it comes from understanding the game. So these conversations we're having about like comparing now to somebody like Peyton Manning, that does matter because you should be looking to see what, like Jared Goff, his big leap this year. The reason why he's made me money in daily, and he has, we were talking about this for the show. If the Lions had not let off the accelerator after the first quarter last weekend, I would have made thousands of dollars last weekend. I was so far ahead of everybody else because the Lions put on the pedal. I stacked the Lions. Jared Goff made a leap because he started making calls at the line of scrimmage and actually reading defenses. And we understood that from years of studying the game.
Well, yeah, there's also, I mean, his increased line play helps a lot too. The Goff is terrible under pressure. He's not, especially up the middle, especially up the middle.
Because he's not mobile. I mean, that's it. That's just the thing. So understanding the game is important. Making these comparisons is important. You should listen to people talk about then versus now. Some people be like, well, what have you done for me lately? Well, the game is a transition, and everything that goes into it happened as a result of a sequence. I know I'm getting way deep for a
Well, no, but like I think you're right in the sense that if we look at this modern NFL, and especially this year with so many hurt quarterbacks, we're finding that quarterbacks are, yes, very, very important. Obviously, elite quarterbacks are still running the NFL. Yeah. But we're also realizing that what is the most important is elite talent.
Talent, yeah.
In especially in the offensive side of the ball. Like Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel,
Deebo was dominant last week. I mean, like that
CeeDee
man.
Lamb.
I think if you lined up Deebo at cornerback, he'd still be the best cornerback in the NFL.
Very possible. But keep going. Like right, CeeDee Lamb. Who's the AJ Brown? Like all of the best teams in the NFL currently have an elite receiver. And why is Kansas City still a winning team? Because of Patrick Mahomes, but they are not an elite
and Travis Kelce,
but they're not an elite team because they don't have a game-breaking wide receiver or running back or anything. No one on their team pushes the defense.
And Kelsey's getting older, and so he doesn't have that same ability. And that happens. And I'd have to go back and look, but I called the struggles of the Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't care about the record, but the struggles of the Kansas City Chiefs, the struggles of the Buffalo Bills, because the number of games they've played over the past 3 years have been phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal success, right? But they played so many that like, if you weren't changing stuff up, you were going to struggle more than you did the year before. And none of those teams did, and that's why you study the game.
That's like, and it kind of goes to like a baseball thing, right? Where it's you watch teams that have had deep playoff runs 3 seasons in a row, and you're like, well, I don't care how many
Detroit Tigers 2012 to 2015, right?
Eventually, like when you throw 200 innings in the regular season and 70 innings in the playoffs, like, dude, your arm is shot.
That's it. Patrick Mahomes right now is 27 going on 34. And it's a case where like preparation matters and all that stuff, but he's played more games than anybody else his age. And so like age isn't as relevant. Like look at Ezekiel Elliott. He is 29.
Going on 50.
Like the number of games you have played matter. And studying the only way you get this, guys, and we got to get to the games, but the only way you get this is by knowing the game, studying the game, watching the game, knowing. So I think these kind of conversations matter.
Oh yeah.
For what it's worth. Like, and people will say like comparing eras doesn't matter. No, I think comparing eras matter a lot.
Well, comparing eras matters the most because it's important to know what happened in that era that created dynasties or really good teams. And then you can take that knowledge and say, is that still the case? Does that trend still hold? Or have we seismically shifted to a new era of the NFL?
Everything you're saying. All right, I'm off my soapbox. We can get to the games. I'm off my soapbox.
So Dan, our Smash already said we're good. I was 5-5. He was 5-5 or 6-6.
Get over here.
It is what it is. Let's just do a quick recap here. What games do I think I unfairly lost? Pitt for sure. Pittsburgh without Kenny, there was no chance. and 2 lightning delays. Like, that game doesn't exist. I mean, that'll go against you.
I called Atlanta. Though.
The Rams looked good.
I called the Rams. I told you.
The Rams looked good, and Denver, cooking hot pockets, ran up against a non-tired team.
You were right about Houston. You were right about Houston.
Well, I wasn't, because I bet Denver, but the good thing is I put the jinx on Denver by betting them. So, Detroit, that was a good cover. Indy, that was
Tractor Cedo.
Tennessee sucks, though. They're not good.
I don't get Tractor Cedo. He should have been traded to a good team. The Lions should have tried to get him.
Obviously, Miami covered. And then probably the worst of them all is either Kansas City or Philadelphia. It was just like Kansas City's tired, as we just said.
San was going to win that game. I told you they were.
Kansas City, one of the oldest teams in the NFL, lost to one of the youngest teams in the NFL late in the season. How are we shocked? And then the other one being, man, Philadelphia got boat raced.
That's the San Francisco 49ers are who I thought they were. They are who I thought they were. At the beginning of the year, I said they could go undefeated. That team is complete. What
sucks about San Francisco now, though, is like Philadelphia is a well-coached team, right?
Yep.
So San Francisco just threw their punch. Well, now we're going to get Philly's counter punch probably in the NFC Championship game.
No, the Detroit Lions are going to be in the NFC Championship game.
Let's hope so.
You'll see. Right here, baby.
But that's really the recap. I think the Philly and San Francisco games our Kansas City games were tough. I picked teams that have generally won, and the difference is
it was a difficult week. It was to go 500 on last week. It was a difficult week.
But Green Bay
better last week
has come a long way, and we'll get to that in their game. And then Philadelphia was the worst team that day, and we'll see what happens next time. So said. All right, so we'll go to week 14. We'll bring up the books here. Yeah, I'm still taking the under. And if you're going to take the under, you might as well take the +6, because 30 points. There isn't a lot of room for +6.
No. This is the thing. This game, you were right last week about the Patriots. And I'm on it with you. The Steelers win this game, but the Steelers win this game 12-6.
Well, we won it 12-7, but yeah, same, yeah. Because we pushed at 12-6.
Yeah, we'd push then, but come on.
Well, we got to be scared that Pittsburgh can score 12. I mean, Mitch Trubisky's not very good, and Deontay Johnson hates him.
Well, bad Trubisky.
But no, I will say
this is how I bet the game. I think that the Patriots cover. 6-3. How about that?
Oh, I love it.
I think 6-3 Iowa score. 6-3 Steelers win the game with Mitch Trubisky at the helm. Patriots have nothing and no one and nobody.
Talk about it. Okay, you want to talk about it? You're like, why are the Patriots so bad? They literally have no one on their team that can be more than a possession receiver.
They have no talent.
They don't even have a tight end.
No,
you can't even work the middle of the field.
Nope. And Ramondre Stevenson is a backup running back, but starting for them, well,
he's hurt now too.
Honestly, I feel 0% bad for them because it's time.
Ramondre Stevenson is hurt, though, so now it's just Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, man. So if you're playing captain, do you put Ezekiel Elliott? Because he has this...
Well, no. Well, here's the other thing, though. Their best receiver is also injured, Demario Douglas. So you might be able to find a $3,700.
Oh, man. I got to put a lineup in. I got to put a lineup in tonight because there's going to be madness then. There's this... Do we do the double doink, double D? That's the real question. And which defense is going to score more? Which kicker? Are
you talking about tonight, or are you talking about?
Yeah, tonight. Oh. So double doink, double D. 2 kickers, 2 defenses, and then you just pick two offensive players you think are going to score the most points in this game.
Oh, I'd pick Jaylen Warren, and I would pick probably Zeke, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Double doink, double. I think I'm going to enter that lineup because it's a bad game. But
so what, you put the Steelers defense as your captain?
yeah, I put the Steelers defense as my captain.
Okay, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, this game's gonna suck. But otherwise,
flexed a long time ago.
Jesus, it's whatever. It's Thursday night.
But
No one cares
the
about
game
Thursday
of the
night.
week. How is this a 3.5 point game?
I mean, they barely beat Chicago last time they played at home.
I don't care. That was a fluke.
It wasn't, because look what happened the next 2 weeks.
No, Green Bay is better than we thought they were. And then last week, I mean, it's not like the Saints. So the Saints have played everybody close. Every game for the Saints has been close. They haven't been blown out all season.
That's fair. But still, I agree. I 100% agree that this game is lined incorrectly. The difference is that, the weather's gotten a lot better. A lot of people were really worried about the weather. But now the weather forecast has gotten
plus 100 for me for the Lions there. I must have taken I must have something there. But
it's
anyway.
Fine. But it was 5 over under 45, but then everyone got worried about the weather, and now the game's starting to bounce back because now the weather's getting better.
It's gorgeous here. It was 55 degrees today in Chicago.
We'll see how that all ends up. But yeah, I mean, if Detroit is who we think they are, then this should be an 8-point spread. That's
ridiculous. The Lions will dominate this game all up and down the field. Do not believe. Don't look at the past. I don't count last week because the Saints are a tough team. Saints are tough, man.
Who's the Lions defensive coordinator?
Oh God,
Glenn?
Aaron Glenn.
If the Bears, if Justin Fields did what he did to us 3 weeks ago, then Aaron Glenn deserves to be fired because it's not like the Chicago Bears have any form of scheme.
Nope. It is Justin Fields.
It's Justin Fields. If you can't figure that out, then you don't belong in the NFL.
Now I will say having Alex Anzalone on the DL last week I didn't care, but now I realize he's got to spy this running quarterback, and it's going to be interesting to see who's put on spy for Justin Fields because
Hutch. Just put Hutch in the middle of the field, let him do his thing.
Oh no, I don't want to see it. I want him to work on his fundamentals, please. But you know how to bet it. Bet the line spread.
That one's easy enough.
Yep.
The Rams
tough spread here. Tough spread.
I actually kind of love the Rams at 7.5.
I like the Rams at 7.5. That's a tough defense. They played real strong.
Now I will say it is the Ravens against the NFC, which is tough because Lamar has never lost to the NFC.
Hey, the Rams keep this close. Stafford is Stafford. Rams are in the playoff hunt. Stafford wants more playoff wins. I mean, the Rams keep this close. Probably game decided by 4 or 5 points.
The Ravens tend to outside of the Lions, the Ravens tend to play with their food.
Yeah. I didn't yep. So I like the Rams to cover. I like that spread at 7.5. Yeah, all day. 7.5
and look, I mean, the Ravens defense is good, but their run defense hasn't been as good as their pass defense. So Kyron Williams might be a play.
Oh yeah, and if you're playing daily, yeah, Kyron Williams. Although he was expensive last week.
I think we'll see what happens. But he's been good. Every time he's been expensive, he's been good. And sometimes when they get so expensive, then people run away from him.
Yeah, tail off him.
From the Ravens side, though, who's the receiver? Oh God, what's this?
I don't know who to play in this one. Is Zay Flowers? No,
Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is always a decent play if he's 5,500 and below.
The only player I ever play other than Lamar and Daly from the Ravens is the tight end.
Yeah, I like Zay sometimes, but I understand. This game's lined completely incorrectly. This game came down 2 points because Zach Wilson is quarterback? ?
He said no. And they said, you're starting, and he said no.
Well, he's starting now. They already announced it. So, all right, so we got that situation.
Hey, Zach Wilson needs to be gone. They need to, can we just fire him from the NFL?
Okay, and if Houston so I know this is lined the Jets defense is very good, and they are. The Jets defense is a very solid defense.
I'll take the over on the turnovers, yeah.
But here's the thing. If Houston gets up early and there's no life out of the Jets offense, their defense is going to give up. And then all of a sudden, Houston's going to score 40 by themselves.
Yeah, the Jets are done. They're cooked. I don't get this being a 3.5 spread. Nobody respects the Texans. I did pick. So to be fair, I picked against the Texans last week, but it's not because I didn't believe. It's because honestly, I didn't.
Everyone picked Denver last week. You're not alone.
You know, I think
I picked Denver last week.
So I like the Texans in this game to win, and definitely cover 3.5. The Jets are just bad, guys. Can we stop talking about them? Because like they're bad. They're just a bad football team.
Yeah. So
honestly, I don't necessarily think Aaron Rodgers being there would have changed that much.
And Houston with being without Tank Dell, I think matters in a game of a shootout. But in this instance, I think that the other players will get theirs.
Yep. They got this. Texans got
that being said, Nico Collins is now $7,600.
What happened? He was our money play all last season.
I used to pay $3,800.
Our little baby boy grew up. No, I still play him. Like
no, not against the Jets.
Oh, you think he's going to get blanketed by the rookie from last year?
I think you play Houston's random third receiver.
Well, it's that the guy that used to play for Dallas. Shoot.
Oh,
I've played him a couple weeks and he gets like 3 or 4 catches a week. That's who it is. It's the guy who used to play for Dallas. And so yeah, I also like the former Dallas tight end to land in the end zone for the Texans in large part because he has a good matchup against a Jets defense that is not as good against the tight ends as you think they would be.
So Houston's third receiver is John Mechie III from Alabama.
No, he's not the third. He's not the third. He's the fourth.
Well, he will be in this instance because it's Noah Brown, Robert Woods, and
Woods.
And
Woods. He didn't play for Dallas. Woods played for. Who did Woods play for?
Rams.
The Rams. The Rams. Sorry. Woods has been a guy he's made me money.
Woods' role has always been the same, no matter who's played. So his role doesn't change. And Noah Brown isn't very good. So I'm thinking it's going to be
Noah Brown had a couple good weeks. He made money for me too.
But okay, so all I'm saying is Mechie at $3,000 is one of the best $3,000 receivers you can play. Like
I can't wait to see we've agreed on everything so far. I'm waiting to disagree here.
Oh, maybe we'll get there. But yeah, that one. So yeah, Houston's easy.
This is easy.
It is, but I'd play it more money line just because the Saints have had trouble covering 3 and over. But like, dude, the Panthers suck. Every time I think the Panthers are going to cover, they don't. Like, something will happen. Bryce Young will fumble at the 3. It's like betting the Jets. It's like something always terrible happens, and somehow they lose by 7 points.
The Panthers to try to trade Bryce Young at the end of the season because nobody will take it.
They won't do it because the owner picked Bryce Young, so he wants a whole nother season. Now, there has been talk that Ryan Day is looking to leave Ohio State.
Tired of losing to Michigan? Oh, sorry, Steve.
What if Ryan Day is the next coach of the Carolina Panthers? We've now permanently lost a viewer. Like, he's never going to
permanently lost a viewer. Will not tune in.
But Ryan Day to the Carolina Panthers.
So we've seen. I don't know. I don't believe the Ryan Day to.
I don't either. I think it's all just a bunch of swirl. I would just.
But I like Ryan. You know, I like Ryan Day, but Ryan Day's shtick doesn't work in the NFL. Like, it doesn't. Like,
no college football's shtick works in the NFL.
That's not true. That's not true.
Pete Carroll's the only one, and it's because he was in the NFL already.
Jimmy Johnson won 3.
Started in the NFL as well.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Miami.
So Jimmy Johnson. Okay, so you have
Miami.
You have one coach out of the history of coaches.
Harbaugh
Hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
No. I know he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he went to one. And
But
if he
Harbaugh's
decided to leave,
also
to leave Michigan.
From a football family. Other individuals in his family coached in the NFL.
Yeah. What's the brother's name there?
John?
Jim. What's his
Is
brother's
it John
name?
and Jim?
John and Jim? Is that what it is? Anyway, I don't know. Like, I just don't think Ryan Day cuts it in the NFL because his strength is recruiting a lot like the guy that used to coach Ohio State.
We don't speak his name. We call him the butt toucher.
The butt toucher. Oh God, Steve's definitely not tuning in now. Wow. But I love Ryan Day. He's a great coach.
I like all the Big Ten. If any, like everyone's like, well, what are your least favorite teams? I'll be like, anyone who isn't in the Big Ten.
Alabama, Georgia, Florida
Clemson.
State, Clemson. Pretty much anybody who's in near the Panhandle area.
Yeah. All right. That has nothing to do with the Civil War or anything. Jesus.
Anyway, the next game is tough. And I did not know how to bet this. I was actually literally waiting to see what you said.
So
I don't
bet
like this game. I don't like it.
This is going to bring up a lot of stuff. This one brings up a lot. So give me 1 second because I gotta bring up something first.
Mom, I don't want to lose to the Browns. Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns, and they're historically the worst franchise in NFL history.
Dude, Cincinnati couldn't have hurt me worse than they did last week.
I love Cincinnati. I got your jersey waiting here.
My elimination challenge, though, was against them because I was like, well, Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, they're just going to give up. Not only does Trevor Lawrence get hurt, one of the toughest quarterbacks in the NFL, because he has proven that.
Yeah, I agree.
And Cincinnati wins because their backup quarterback has the second best game in the NFL this year.
That was like a perfect storm.
It was the perfect storm of terrible. But not only did I do that, I also bet the look ahead, which had the Colts as -2.5 against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I have this at -2.5 to the Colts.
Oh no. I like the under. I do not know who's going to win this game.
No, don't bet the under. Dude, do not bet Shane Steichen unders.
What?
Shane Steichen is 14-1 or 12-1 against the over-under this year.
How do you even know that?
Because it's all anyone talks about is that Shane Steichen dude, no, but you're going to bet the Colts. Dude, that game was a mirage.
Just go here, right?
Yeah. The game is a mirage. There's no way that Browning has that game 2 games.
He could say, what if Browning saves their season and there is a quarterback controversy?
There would never on earth be the only quarterback to beat Patrick
What if
Mahomes.
What if Jamar Chase said, Browning's my quarterback?
Yeah, whatever.
He was mad. He was mad at Joe. Don't forget, he was mad at Joe Burrow.
He was not mad at Joe Burrow.
He was mad. He said, I'm open every play.
No, he said, I'm always open, is what he said.
Same thing. But I don't know. The Colts win this game. I do love the under.
The Colts are a better team.
Steichen always has the over. So the Colts are the better team and are in the playoff hunt. The Bengals should not make the playoffs. No, you don't want to see the Bengals in the playoffs?
I think it was just time for the Jaguars to have a really bad game, and it happened.
Well, the Jaguars are not. They're good. They're not a great football team, and
well, they're not going to be unless Trevor Lawrence plays in the largest brace known to man, and with his high ankle sprain.
Who's their backup?
He's not good. I don't even know.
Oh.
Some person. I mean, he might be great in DFS though. Now, if you're talking about
get him cheap, yeah, you get a nice 12 points out of him real cheap, sure.
Which one is it? No, that's
I don't know. It's not Bortles. Bortles left and he retired. So
let me look. I'll check the depth chart. All right, what's the next game? Tampa.
It's the Atlanta. I told you last week. I'm telling you this week.
I think you definitely it's 100% Atlanta, and I hate it because what I hate about this is that Atlanta is a terrible team.
Of course they are, but somebody has to win that division.
That's the problem.
The Buccaneers are a worse team than Atlanta. And here's the thing: is like I used to respect the Buccaneers defense, but although Evans, Mike Evans had a historic game last week for them. Yeah.
I thought Mike Evans was a product of Tom Brady.
I should listen to you. You said play Mike Evans. I played Godwin.
Yeah, dude, never play Godwin. I've gotten caught up in that storm so many times. Never play Godwin. He's the worst. It's like thinking you should play Lockett for Seattle.
And then you play DK.
But you should always play DK. Yeah. Like, you're just like, whatever. It is what it is. And now you should never play Lockett because Jackson Smith and Jigba's better than him.
Oh, yeah.
So that one's easy.
I like Atlanta in this game. I like
Desmond Ritter's only ever lost one game on the road. And it might have at home. And it's only been this season. But
it was only the week you called it. So
yeah, so he's still like a bajillion to one. Like, don't let that one game fool you. He could be 2 bajillion to 1 now. Greatest home quarterback ever.
My Stone Cold Log of the Week is coming up. You ready for this?
About to nail that wacko Flacco flame.
Oh, Joe Flacco. He did not look bad. Smash is Stone Cold. Lock of the century of the week. The Cleveland Browns over the Jacksonville Jaguars to stay in the playoff hunt. I love it. Joe Flacco did not look that bad last week.
This is Carl Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and this is my Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the
Dude, Joe Flacco walked in.
Joe Flacco, you're elite.
Joe Flacco walked in, and the guys were like, "What made you come back?" And he's like, "The stuff in the basement."
I'm telling you,
it's Rocky Balboa, man.
He did not look that bad. He threw the ball well. He took a really bad sack in the end zone. But the Rams, I told you, the Rams are better than people think they are.
But he's old, man. Like, you can't be mean to Joe Flacco. He's old.
I think Flacco is the man he's not the man they want, but Joe Flacco is the man the Cleveland Browns need right now. And if I don't get this. Why not Kareem Hunt? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't understand all of it. But here's the thing. It's like, I think Kareem Hunt's very much a Tony Pollard guy, where it's like, if we ever watch Kareem Hunt be the back, it would just be an absolute disaster.
Did, and don't forget, we did for Kansas City, and he dominated.
But that was a long time ago.
I know. But, before he beat his wife like a jerk. I think the Browns are going to solidify their playoff hunt here by knocking off the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So you have Trevor Lawrence, who might play even though he shouldn't. in rainy Cleveland.
And don't forget, they don't need him to play.
Rainy Cleveland. Well, the other thing is though, Bethard, though, who is their backup, is also limited in practice this week with a shoulder injury. So you have 2 beaten up quarterbacks going to Cleveland.
Top 5 defense. Myles Garrett must be just salivating.
Well, he's also beat up too, but even so,
he doesn't care. That dude will he'll put so many fucking drugs in his body to play this game. He doesn't care. He's a defender.
Dude, give me the Toradol.
Give me it right now. I'm gonna go in and.
Do you think that the guy who hurt his knee at the Lions game, the sideline guy, do you think he got some Toradol?
I don't think he got a damn thing. He's a non-union, non full-time employee. I think he got a pat on the back and good freaking luck.
You know, those chain gangs are it's guys that do the college games or whatever in the area, and
they're just guys.
They're just dudes that they get paid $20 an hour, but they get their family tickets to the game, and they're like, I do this to get tickets. Now
he got a pat on the back, and now he's got a broken knee. Oh God, the next game. I'm
not gonna bet it. I don't like the spread. It's too big.
The spread. If you're gonna, I'm not gonna bet this game. I'm with you. But if I were, you have to bet the Seahawks, right?
Yeah, it's a division game. You're giving a division game plus 11?
Right? You have to bet the Seahawks to cover. Now, if you go money line, I mean, I guess I could just I'm just going to throw this on because they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it on, whatever, big deal. It's like plus 100 to my parlay. But, like, if you're betting the spread in this game, it has to be towards the Seahawks. Has to be. 11 points in an NFL game?
An NFL interconference game between.
I said that last week with the over under, and I got burned. So you won that head to head. You gotta bet Niners money line, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I made like tease San Francisco under 6.5. I don't know, but it is what it is. For what our purposes, yes. You want to tease San Francisco, or you think San Francisco or Seattle is live in this game. In that case, you get plus 500. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Seahawks in the hunt. Seahawks are staying in the hunt.
Yeah,
and Seahawks are in the hunt. You got to remember that they're hungry teams. We haven't busted out the dog in a while. Where are the dogs this year? Where are the dogs?
You think Seattle's got that dog in them?
I don't know. I don't
know. I've seen the problem with saying that teams have that dog in them is it's like I've seen a lot of teams lay down this year.
Yeah, they just laid down and
now,
I get it.
I will say, I think Houston, Indianapolis got that, but they're more finesse than dogs.
Houston's got that dog. Okay, all right. I found my dog. Houston's got that dog. Indy doesn't have the dog. Houston's got that dog. Indy is more like, if they're a dog, they're that dog that doesn't get adopted and everybody's sad about. That's who Indy is.
As Gardner Minshew, the best backup in the NFL. Why isn't Gardner Minshew a starting quarterback in the NFL?
He's doing but the other part is this. It's not so. Don't forget. So okay. Should Gardner Minshew be starting? Yeah. But it's not. He's not going to be top 20. He's not a top 20 starter. So,
okay.
I don't know.
If you could pay Gardner Minshew $10 million a year to start for your team.
Who's my first question is who's my running back? My second question is who's my best receiver? Because
Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman, followed by Joshua Downs.
I'm paying him $10 million to start for my team. But they also have, don't forget, Anthony Richardson looked real good. So it's not they're going to be paying him. They're not going to pay him. Who's going to pay him to be a starter? He has no upside. None. You know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get Charlie Batch.
Whatever.
Gardner Minshew is Charlie Batch.
It's fine. But I'm just saying, Gardner Minshew, the best backup in the NFL, is a starter in the NFL. That's what it means.
Also, he's the second best backup in the NFL. One, Taylor Heineke is the best backup in the NFL.
Well, what about cousin Teddy? Third leg.
No, Teddy Bridgewater is. I do not want to see. The Lions will go as far as Jared Goff takes them. Please, I do not want to see Teddy Bridgewater.
Dude, I want Jameis Winston?
No. Oh, did you? Oh, they wouldn't let him throw. When he went in for Carr, they wouldn't let him throw.
You wait for JMO. You wait for JMO. All right, but we got to hit next game.
All right.
Jameis Winston, sneaky play this week.
Yeah, no. I play Hill. They kept Hill in more often than they let Jameis throw.
Dude, they got to let JMO cook. All right, we got.
This is a tough game.
No, I completely disagree. This is lying completely incorrectly. I think the Vikings go in and dominate that game.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Better coach. Better quarterback.
I don't want to bet this game. I don't like so.
I haven't bet it yet. I want 2.5. You better bet your butt. I want 2.5 for the Vikings. But if I'm betting this game,
this is how I bet this game. I know I probably shouldn't. That's how I bet that game. So the Raiders have stuck close to everybody all season except the Lions, right? I like the Vikings to win, but I think it's going to be closer than 3 points. So I'm not touching the spread. Vikings win this game, but closer than 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the squad this week, dude. I don't think AOC gets it done, especially not with Justin Jefferson coming back.
Can
Justin Jefferson be stopped? I don't know.
Like, can they get him the ball though? That's the problem.
Josh Dobbs can get him the ball.
I think people figured out Josh Dobbs.
No one's figured out anything. They completely got rid of his playbook again, and so now he's just asking offensive linemen how to line up.
Where are you going to go now? The next game is the game of the week. And I want to see, I'm going to let you go first on this one because I want to see where you go.
I don't want to bet this game.
I love this football game. I love every inch of this football game.
Well, it means everything because
Kansas City Chiefs said that their defense is allowing them to stay in every game ever. And you have the Buffalo Bills that their offense is trying to give away the game in every game ever. So,
well, the Bills' defense is really bad, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, how do you play this?
Josh Allen has never beat Patrick Mahomes.
Nope. But Josh Allen is also 0-5 since they changed the overtime rules for him. Oh, I sprung a math stat on you.
Yeah.
I study some stuff once in a while.
Here's the thing. Like, if I'm looking at this season and
I'm
saying Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs, I go, okay, the Buffalo Bills are going to play really well, but they're somehow going to find a way to lose.
I like the Bills to win, but I'm going to bet this Bills 1.5 just to, no, money line. There we go.
Bet on money line.
Bills win this game. Bills win this game. They got to stay in the hunt. Chiefs aren't as hungry. Chiefs don't have as many weapons.
But the Chiefs have to win this game too, because if the Chiefs lose this game, they lose their grip on first place, and
Denver's in the hunt,
and they chance the Buffalo Bills getting into the playoffs.
The Bills win this game. They have to win this game. The Chiefs just don't have weapons. They just don't. And Pacheco's not a weapon. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is one of the biggest busts of all time in the first round. Kelsey looks beat up. The Bills can score on anybody. I don't care who your defense is. So the one worry I have is that the Bills get ahead and then start turning the ball over like they did against the Eagles.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, no matter how I run this game in my head, the same thing happens. It's like Buffalo Bills winning late or Buffalo Bills coming back, and then a turnover it's going to be a close game either way, and they're going to somehow give it up.
I'm stacking the Bills despite their price, probably. I'm stacking the Bills this week in daily. That's my plan. I like the Bills to win this game. They're hungry. Josh Allen's the hungriest quarterback in the NFL. That's why he keeps playing the same way he does every week. Patrick Mahomes doesn't look hungry. Just doesn't. I like the Bills. They win this game by a touchdown. I like the Bills to win this game by a touchdown. So if you're teasing it out, I like the Bills to win this game for a touchdown.
Wow, take alternate. You get like 5-1 on that.
Yeah, I like that. The Bills win this game by a touchdown because the Chiefs, I said it last week, I've said it a bunch of times. The Chiefs are only where they are because of their defense, and they haven't played elite offenses. They just haven't. So the Lions are the toughest offense they've played.
Yeah.
So I think the Bills go out and they put some points on this defense, and you're going to find out that Kansas City is a little riskier than everybody thinks.
Be interesting. You might, if that's the case, you might want to bet a Baltimore Super Bowl future.
No. I have Bills Lions and have had Bills Lions since the first day of this season in the Super Bowl. And I have it at plus 15,000.
Well, yeah.
And I got $20 on it. Do the math, people. And I don't have a winner. That's all that has to happen. The Bills and the Lions end in the Super Bowl. That's all that has to happen.
Well, fair enough.
Give me that money.
Getting Kansas City Chiefs out of home field advantage will get you a long way towards that.
I think so. I think so. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Go Bills. We know what it means.
That no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
The wagons.
Wagons all day.
All right.
I think this game is lined wrong.
I'm about to put a hot pocket into the microwave. The Chargers don't win.
Favored. How are the Chargers favored in this game?
The Chargers don't win. Like
Brandon Staley his seat is so hot, his balls are on fire. Like
if there was one thing outside of the Carolina Panthers that I want to bet this season, or no, it's fine because Carolina Panthers you get plus money. This is the least amount of thing I've ever want to bet. I don't want to bet minus money for the Chargers to win a game because they're 4-8, right? I'm not.
Yeah, okay, so home field advantage of Chargers is irrelevant, but they're giving it to them apparently. So I don't get it. The Broncos win this football game. They are a better football team than a banged up, washed up LA Chargers team. Broncos win this game.
The Chargers are 5-7, but it's like, okay, you're betting on a team that hasn't won, especially against good teams.
I'm Justin Herbert.
Win.
I jumped ship at the end of the season so hard. I jumped ship. That dude, can you imagine if Justin Herbert was the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys?
What? No. It's not gonna be Dallas. What if it was this? What if Denver trades Russell Wilson and a first-round draft pick to the Chargers for Justin Herbert?
They don't need to because Russell is doing fine. He's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
No, I'm saying, but what about Justin Herbert on the Broncos with Sean Payton?
No, they don't need it. Russell Wilson is doing fine. He's not. I said at the beginning of the season, he's not why they were losing. Russell Wilson is doing his job. They're winning football games because
Russell Wilson. But Justin Herbert, statistically, based on his EPA,
I know he's younger,
can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is not a quarterback that can now win a Super Bowl.
You're not wrong, but I'm tired of the like narrative that somehow Russell Wilson is why they're losing. Like, he played great last week, and I think.
And so what's that? Oh, there's Russ Wilson. Oh, that's called
different coach. We're like Hackett. Oh man, the players in the Jets are they're like boycotting him. Everybody's finding out that Peyton was right about Hackett all along. Like, I don't know. I'm on the Broncos. I was on them last week. I'm on them this week. I like the Denver Broncos.
The trade was a joke, but yes, Denver, as much as it pains me, as I just showed the last clip I just showed.
This is called Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and this is my Stone Cold Lock of the Century. Of the
Stone Cold Lock of the Century of the week.
Broncos to win. We
Let's
agreed
ride.
too much this week. I don't like that. I'm always nervous when we agree too much.
Here's
the game of the week, though. How are the Cowboys favored?
I bet 3.5 to Philadelphia.
Why not just right here?
I mean, I bet it
Cowboys
early in the week to see what the number would move to.
Oh, Cowboys haven't beaten a team with a winning record this season. I think they're pretenders. Dak Prescott will turn the ball over against this great defense. That's the difference is Brock Purdy's not going to turn the ball over. And so
the thing you have to note in this, the Dallas Cowboys have had 2 long weeks of rest and are played at home 3 games in a row. Philadelphia is on a gauntlet, and they're at the end of the gauntlet. Now, Can they get up enough to win this game? Maybe. But I will say,
division game. Now, as a Lions fan, I want the Cowboys to win. It makes me vomit saying that. But how do the Cowboys beat a much, much better and more complete Philadelphia Eagles team?
You were just talking about Micah Parsons winning the MVP. That's how you do it.
They can't do it alone. They don't have an elite secondary the same way the San Francisco 49ers basically have 3 cornerbacks that would start for any team in the NFL. Like, the Cowboys can't keep up with the elite talent on the Philadelphia Eagles. They can't. And especially on the offensive side of the ball where you only have Dak and CD. That's it. That offense is not good. So it's different. It's different. That's a different matchup. The Niners are a complete football team. They have so much so that Brock Purdy, who is a game manager of all game managers, Brad Johnson's of all Brad Johnsons, they have so much talent on that team. The The Philadelphia Eagles, if they
all I will say, we got to end because we're getting close to the end here.
Yep.
This is the best chance Dallas has to beat Philadelphia in 4 years.
Truth. Yeah, that is true. I want the Cowboys to win because that means that we have a 3-way tie between the Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, and the Detroit Lions for the top of the NFC. I want that, but I don't see it happen. I don't.
Well, Monday night's easy, so whatever. Tennessee Titans are going to get boat raced. Play Tyreek Hill and Daly.
Spread? Yeah, you bet the spread.
They're gonna boat race them.
It went all the way to the bottom of the screen. Sorry.
No, you're fine. The last one is the Giants and
Hold on.
No, you just clicked on live games. Go click on game lines.
Sorry. Bear with me.
You're on football. You're good.
There we go.
So if you scroll down to the last one here.
This is what happens when you have a mouse that has as many buttons as my mouse has.
We're down to the last game here. It's the Giants versus the Packers, and it's 6.5.
There we go.
This is really hard because this is so okay. The Packers
I think it's easier than you think it is.
So the Packers have to be for real though, right? Because it's like Green Bay went from being a -7 underdog to the Lions to being a 6.5 favorite against the Giants.
That's because of the game they played last week. They're hungry and they're starting to play a lot better. The defense is playing better. The Giants don't have anybody, dude.
It's all about Tommy DeVito, baby.
Oh my God, please no.
Tommy DeVito lives 5 minutes away from the Meadowlands.
Reminds me of Jeff Hostetler in 1990.
Lives with his mother because he's not married yet as a good Italian boy.
I think the Packers win this game pretty decisively, and Dolphins win that game. I don't know how we ended up with 2 Monday night games this week, but
at the exact same time.
Same time. Which one do I tune into?
I wouldn't watch either of them.
I mean, why can't I get Dolphins Packers? Make the Giants and the Titans go off in the corner. I want Dolphins Packers, man.
But I will say I have the Packers roughly around 6. So this makes sense. I think Green Bay. Yeah.
I hate saying this. Oh my God. I wanted the Packers to be really bad this year. But they're not they're the same team that I got to accept the odd changes. Same team they were that I thought they were at the beginning of the year. What are we at? Oh, I'm going to win 17,000 this week. You ready?
So from here, from my side, I like Kansas City. I like Denver. I like Detroit. I like Houston. Those numbers are on key numbers. Wait to see where they move through. You might get a better number, but I don't think your number is going to get any worse than it already is. And then Atlanta covers over Tampa Bay. Miami, that's such a big spread. I don't like to bet the spread, but I would say I would lean Miami. And then last but not least, Minnesota handles the Raiders pretty easily. I think the bad teams have shown you they're bad. The mediocre teams have shown you they're mediocre, and the good teams have shown you they're good.
We know who people are.
We know who people are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stick with what you know.
So at this point, you're just playing what you know, and if it's helped you, if it's worked so far, don't change. So that's where we are this week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. Subscribe to the Scene Snobs. Subscribe to Betting Bros. Watch the horror.
Week, the 20 or is it in 2 weeks? Sorry, 2 weeks. The 22nd. Don't forget, Scene Snobs is running charity for free lunch for students. It's a great cause. Show up. Watch us read a great script. It's going to be hilarious. I guarantee you. Man, I hope to see you there. The script is the Christmas Vacation, just so everyone knows. Probably should tell them what the script is. Eddie. Your own Smash is playing Cousin Eddie. All righty, everybody. Thanks for joining in.